Welcome back to the Upward Path podcast. Yesterday, we reflected on the idea that your life matters. Our words and actions affect the atmosphere around us often more than we realize. Today, we continue Chapter 1, The Inner Compass, with Reflection 6, Do Not Live by Mood Alone. A parent rises bleary-eyed and makes their way towards the kitchen in the gray morning light. Sleep had come in broken pieces. All night, the neighbor's heater unit clanked and banged outside, waking the children just as they had finally drifted off. By morning, everyone is tired and patience is already wearing thin. One child cannot find a shoe. Another has forgotten where they left their lunchbox. The toast gets burnt. The clock keeps moving. And then a simple question lands at the wrong moment. A parent answers too sharply. A child snaps back. Nothing terrible has happened, but tiredness has taken hold of the room and begun speaking through everyone. The clear idea for today is this: feelings and mood matters, but they should not become your master. A mood can arrive before you understand it. You may feel grumpy, worried, restless, embarrassed, or flat. There may be a good reason. You could be tired, hungry, nervous about school or work, or carrying something difficult from yesterday. Listen to the feeling, but do not immediately obey it. A mood is a signal, not a ruler. It may tell you that something needs attention, but it cannot decide what is true, what is right, or how other people deserve to be treated. When you are irritated, a normal question can sound like an attack. When you are worried, a manageable task can look impossible. When you are ashamed, correction can feel like rejection. The feeling is real, but the story it tells may not be completely true. A child might think, everyone is against me, when someone has simply asked them to get ready. A parent might think, nobody appreciates me, when the family has simply forgotten to say thank you, and exhaustion has made that silence feel heavier than it really is. A student might think, I cannot do this, when one mistake has simply made the whole task feel bigger than it is. A mood often takes one difficult moment and tries to turn it into the whole world. That is why a person needs something higher than mood. Truth helps us see the moment clearly. Responsibility helps us choose what to do next, even when our feelings are unsettled. This does not mean pretending to be cheerful. Anger may show that something is wrong. Worry may show that preparation is needed. Sadness may show that something mattered. Tiredness may show that rest is necessary. But even a meaningful feeling can lead to a foolish action. Anger can become cruelty. Worry can become avoidance. Sadness can become hopelessness. Tiredness can become an excuse to make everyone else suffer. A stronger person learns to ask, what is this feeling trying to tell me, and what is the right thing to do with it? In ordinary life, that may mean pausing before answering sharply. It may mean beginning the work even though you do not feel motivated. It may mean saying, I am frustrated and need a moment, instead of blaming the nearest person. For an adult, it may mean noticing that pressure from work has followed them through the front door. The family did not create that pressure, even if they are nearby when it begins to spill out. Sometimes the mood has already won the first moment. The harsh words have been spoken. The door has been slammed. You cannot take that moment back, but you can take responsibility for what happens next. It is at this point that you can acknowledge that you were upset and should not have spoken in that way. The mood may explain why I reacted, but it does not excuse it. That is not weakness. That is a person bringing disorder back under control. This reflection helps us from becoming unreliable. An unreliable person behaves well only when the conditions suit them. Other people never know whether they will meet kindness, anger, patience, or blame. A dependable person still has strong feelings, but they are learning not to hand those feelings complete control over their words and actions. That is real strength. You are not only what you feel in this moment, you are also the person who can decide what to do with that feeling. You can feel angry without becoming cruel. You can feel afraid without always running away. You can feel disappointed without making the whole day bitter. Families can recognize this today by listening for the moment when a mood begins giving commands. Snap at them. Refuse to help. Give up. Make everyone else feel what you feel. That is the moment to stop and ask, what am I feeling? What might be underneath it? Is the story in my mind fully true? What would a responsible next step look like? Sometimes that next step is simple: eating something, taking a few breaths, asking for help, beginning the task, or speaking honestly without attacking anyone. Self control does not mean ignoring your needs. It means caring for the real need without creating several new problems. Moods are like weather. Some mornings are bright, others are gray and unsettled. You cannot always choose the weather that arrives, but you can choose how you walk through it. The storm may be inside you today, but it does not have to become your direction. Notice the mood. Learn from it. Care for what genuinely needs care. Then let truth guide your words, responsibility guide your actions, and love guide the way you treat the people nearby. That is how character begins to govern emotion. In closing, take the time to think and consider our question for today. What mood could try to boss you around today? And how can you control it? Thank you for listening to today's reflection on the upward path. Please stay tuned for the next episode as we continue through the 100 short reflections across 10 chapters with new uploads coming daily. Tomorrow we continue Chapter 1, The Inner Compass, with Reflection 7. Look higher than comfort. May your day be guided by truth, courage, and one small upward step. Take care now.